about where they're building that new strip mall right off of 281? Ellen asked. Tanya glanced back. Yeah, why? Isn't it too close to the highway? Ellen pointed out. I'm beginning to doubt that you care about that poor creature, Sue teased. Tanya was soon in tears again. What do we do, guys? I vote for McAllister Park, Ellen said. That's a good idea. Tanya wiped her eyes with her sleeve. I'm sorry, I'm just not thinking straight. Sue did a U-turn and headed for the park. 15 minutes later, they stood beneath a tree canopy, staring at the cage on the ground. The SUV was parked on the side of the road about 50 yards away. The park was quiet and empty. Ellen hoped the animal was still alive. I wish I had gloves, Tanya said as she reached out with a shaky hand. I'm scared to touch it. Sue rolled her eyes. I'll do it. She lifted the door to the cage and then uttered a hysterical cry as the armadillo jumped to its feet and scrambled past her and into the woods. Sue lost her balance and fell back onto the dirt. Tanya leaned over her. Are you okay? Sue busted out laughing. That scared the heck out of me. Once she'd recovered from the shock, Ellen laughed too and offered Sue a hand. Do armadillos play dead? I guess so, Tanya said. What a relief. I can't thank you guys enough. I'm sorry to have dragged you out here in the middle of the night. I owe you big time. I know how you can thank me. Sue wiped the dirt and dried leaves from the back of her capri pants. Why don't we grab a lemon loaf and a latte at Starbucks while you hear me out? Ellen followed her friends to the Tycon. I hope you mean to drive through, because I'm not wearing a bra. Just carry your purse in front of you, Sue said. Sue had to drive a bit further to find a Starbucks with a cafe that was open 24 hours, but she managed, and once they were sitting around a table with their lattes and cakes, she said, Promise me that you'll keep an open mind. Ellen and Tanya glanced at one another. I know you two wanted to pass on the project at Blackfeet Nation, but hear me out. Ellen sighed. They'd already been over this 1,000,000 times. Montana's too far, Tanya said. I get that you guys aren't interested in a vacation home near Glacier National Park, though it's still beyond me why. It's the crown of the continent and the most beautiful place in America. I don't want to fly any more often than is necessary, Tanya reminded her. Not after that crash landing in Brian's plane. We could have died. Sue took a sip of her latte. I'm not going to say all the things I've already said to try to change your mind, like the fact that the Blackfeet are practically giving the house away, along with the 100 acres it sits on, or the fact that it's located right where the majestic Rocky Mountains meet the sweeping grassy plains, or the fact that the train is roomy and will boast amazing views along the way. Tanya groaned as she took a bite of her lemon loaf. For someone who wasn't going to say all the things she'd already said, Sue was saying quite a lot, Ellen thought as she sipped her latte. However, Sue paused dramatically, I want the house for myself, and I'm asking you, begging you, as my dearest friends, to help me with the paranormal investigation. I'll take care of all the renovations. I'll pay for all of our expenses while we're there. And I'll make the 3-day train ride worth your while. Ellen lifted her brows. How do you intend to do that? I don't know yet, but I'll think of something. Ellen and Tanya glanced dubiously at one another again, but Ellen was feeling less reluctant than she'd felt in the past. An entire year had passed since the Boulder City Hospital Hotel and Museum had been completed, and she was itching for another adventure. A lot had happened since then. Ellen and Brian had broken up. Sue's mother, Jan, had passed away, and Tanya had fostered a 5- and 6-year-old brother and sister who'd just been returned to their mother upon her release from prison. All 3 of their hearts had been broken. I wasn't going to play the grief card, Sue said, with tears in her eyes, but I need to get away. Ellen bit her bottom lip, recalling how she had felt in the wake of Paul's death. She understood all too well. I need to get away from San Antonio, Sue said, breaking down. I need a distraction. Tanya reached across the table to squeeze Sue's hand. I still miss my mother.